Well, here we are. All problems seem to be fixed. Wide screen, full screen. Overlay top, bottom right. Actually, the best bottom left. Advanced options. Heat. High. Apply. Back. Oh, apply. Back. Audio up. What happened? Headphones. Hi, the bird chirping stopped. Full captions. Back. Keyword. Buttons. Interact. Oh, okay. Turn left. Can be that. Apply. Okay, let's begin. By the way, this is a game that's also made by the writers of Stanley Parable.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Okay, so now that I have the ability to say something, this is a pretty great game. I love it. I mean, I haven't played it until today, considering the fact that I had technical difficulties launching it. Here we go.
Warning. Whisper machine active. Shift destruction.
Warning. Whisper machine status
This game
active.
is called Escape from
Evacuate
Whisper,
immediately.
and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
I hope it just doesn't take me out of it like it did in that other Can I shoot these objects out of the way? Am I out of bullets? Oh my god. I mean, this game is cool. I don't know why he would call this generic. I like it so far. I don't know why there's two paths. One's blocked, but they both lead to the same place. But this is so cool. This is so cool.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
Oh
I
my.
love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Oh. I mean, that... not that bad. I mean, I can clearly see that this is just like a box around the whole like game, but still, it looks really cool, especially if you don't look at the bottom. No sprint button. Oh, the door's open. Well, it can't go back now. No secret hidden walls or...
Apparently this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
What? No.
Or, if you'd really like to solve the labyrinth, you're welcome to do that too.
Yes. I want to. gonna go back to where it started. And I'm gonna complete it again. Is this the middle? Yeah, it is. There's that lead. Oh yeah, that's... Do these... Oh. This middle area is just like a... I don't know what to call it. What's over here? Oh, it just leads to a dead end. Okay. Where is this lead? Where does this lead? Also a dead end. Okay. Last. Oh wait, no, there's. Where's this way? Did I go back? I think I went back to the beginning. Yeah. Where does this lead to? Yeah, I already went down that path. This is the one of the correct ways. Or not. I meant one of these two are the correct ways. Nope. Not this one. So it's just this one. There's actually only one way to get there. That's dead end. That's the right way to go. What's the other way? What's this way? Oh, that's just a dead end. Okay, moving on.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Okay.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Is there an option? What happens if I just wait? First of all, that door closed.
This is not a branching point, unfortunately. The only option is to step into the beam.
Really? I'm gonna wait for a few more seconds.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Okay. What happens if I just stand here and wait again? guess there's no narration. Guess we have to go into the beam.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Okay. November 2008. The past was behind her.
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
Oh my. You can literally only hit the down, hit the back button.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the
past was
previous game,
behind
but
her.
actually it seems to
The
be
future
more
could not be
focused,
seen.
more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Why does the future keep changing? When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength to confront
It's
it?
a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
I mean, could have done a little more with that game. Say 2009. You are now entering. Can't go in the grass.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
I wonder how that can be interesting.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Okay.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do? I know it's tempting, but there's actually nothing over here. Sorry.
At least there's an over here. That's nice to see. Can I sprint? No. It's okay. It's just a floating world. Oh my. Some tall buildings. I can walk up these stairs. It changes your speed based on how far you get. He doesn't want you to get there.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if code is not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Or I'll just keep going at crawl speed, that's fine. Don't need to go hacking anything. And modifying or editing. I'll get there eventually. Don't worry. Wonder if he has anything to say about me continuing to crawl. Yeah, I am making progress. That's for sure. Is he really not going to say anything about me continuing to crawl and not using his speed boost? He said something about me going back through the maze. I guess it's fine. See what's inside. Looks like a room. Some sort of room. like these are coffins or couches. Great places to sit. Stand on the X at a bear for 3 hours, staring at a bear for 3 hours. Struck the wall is destroyed. There's even a metal game of only posters and concept art showing what the game is intended to be.
And filled with little
A game where you collect items, except the game automatically quits and you collect them all. Live in a boat, taking orders from the captain. The captain is always wrong.
Often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold
Address
or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person.
Start in a small room until you realize you can just walk through walls.
Very slow
There are gates. A series of lavish manuals come from the game, giving you incorrect instructions on how to play. The game is nothing but giant blocks of text explaining. Oh. Okay. Ready to set fish. Wonder if I can open any of these doors. Probably not.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it. Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot. So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve the puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
I don't want to do that. I pressed E, not M. Gosh.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior...
There we go, restart the level. And that, this time I'm not going to press E. I'm gonna see what happens.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it. Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot. So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve the puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough.